Two races, two levels. One event pushed to its absolute limits. In this video, we break down a historic U20 final where a 20-year record falls and compare it to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone's effortless dominance on the global stage.
With these women, enter Tumba, the existing world under-20 champion, close to that. So on the outside, European under-18 silver medalist, Olga Mashanikova. Semi-final winner, European under-18 champion 2 years ago, Alexandra Uta. Rapidly improving Dutch woman, Abigail Noruga. Ran a personal best in Angelo. And we saw Tumba, world under-20 champion. And this woman was really impressive, winning her semi-final in a national, not just under-20, but under-23 record of 57.16. Arabella Wilson was just a fraction away from her personal best in her semi-final, close to the best of 57.49. Petra Lick, second on the European list this year, behind Tumba. And on the inside, Mila Haikonen, best of 57.10 from last year. Haikonen's had a busy day. She was in the 100 metres hurdles heats this morning, made the semi-finals. So Tumba leads the European lists with 56.76, which she did on home soil in Cargé-Pontoise. However, she hasn't looked great in the heats and semi-finals. Tumba has Hambridge, Uta, who's probably her closest rivals, but this is a very evenly matched race. Cleanly away at the first time of asking. Lane 7, Uta flying over the first bend. It's Uta on the outside who's running really well. Also Tumba looking a lot better than she did in semi-finals and the heats. She's up on the shoulder of Noruga. And Tumba now starting to close the gap on Uta in lane 7, but Uta's still in really good shape. Clearly clearing the hurdles. Running well on the inside, Hambridge as well at the moment, but it's between Tumba and Uta. It's the women in lanes 5 and 7. And Tumba now, well, she saved her best for last. It's the Frenchwoman with a metre lead coming into the home straight. She's running really well. Uta, though's a really fast finisher. She's starting to close. She's really attacking. Uta's attacking Tumba. Tumba's running out of steam. It's going to be the Romanian. Well, let's just wait for confirmation of that time, because it's probably a new championship record. Yes, it is. Uta's confirmed. 55.56. She's smashed a record which has been on the books for 20 years. Tumba runs faster than she's ever done before and improves her own French under-20 record to 55.56. And some way distant, but still running better than any other Estonian's done. Bronze goes to Hambridge, 56.71. What a fantastic performance, and just like the men, personal best for the first 4 women home.
Well, there were 2 brilliant races going on there, Phil. Uta with a massive championship record, just out-dipping Tumba, the world under-20 champion. And Hambridge came back at Haikonen brilliantly. Haikonen in lane 1 had the whole crowd on their feet because, yes, whilst Uta was coming back at Tumba, most in the stand were watching Haikonen, hoping that she could hang on for the bronze, but Hambridge just came through.
To tune up for this, Rochelle Clayton, all-time number 10 in the world ever at this event. Well, Clayton got a great cheer. McLaughlin-Levrone, I'm sure the Jamaican crowd will give her an equally good welcome. Superstar of our sport. Chance Salmon has shown that she's got incredible ability in this event. 52.97, under 53 seconds, which is real high up world class. That was last year in Zurich. Kathleen Peters, the Dutch athlete who's again just come from the World Indoors, where she helped the Dutch to gold medal in the 4x4 relay. She ran the third leg, handing over to Femke Bol, often the challenger to Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, and indeed, a little while ago, Dalilah Muhammad. So Muhammad on the inside in lane 2. We only have 7 athletes in this particular race. Wouldn't it be great to see Muhammad kind of rediscover some form of old in what she's already said is her final year?
It would be. So the last person to beat Sydney McLaughlin. And it took a world record to do it. The last 2 times she beat her world records. So you know what it takes to beat her. See what happens today.
So McLaughlin-Levrone in lane 5. Clayton and Knight, the 2 Jamaicans, in 6 and 7. Salmon also in 4. Sydney McLaughlin starts pretty quickly as expected, but Rochelle Clayton's holding her through the first hurdle, just maybe a meter or so, not even that. The 2 of them going down the back straight, almost stride for stride, although McLaughlin-Levrone just forging ahead down the back straight into 200 meters. Clayton going well, others just starting to falter a little bit. Salmon a long, long way back. Dalilah Muhammad trying to work hard in lane 2 to get on terms. Clayton doing a level best to hang on to the American here, but McLaughlin-Levrone doing what she does best. Clayton just faltered off that one. Dalilah Muhammad moving through in lane 2 as well, but they're a long, long, long way behind. McLaughlin-Levrone over the last hurdle. Storms on now, just watch the clock here. See what she's going to give us here in Kingston. 52.76. Muhammad with an excellent run in lane 2 to take 2nd spot. And others perhaps suffering from going out hard with the best in the business. Really, really strong performance. Okay, this is the result we expected. I thought Muhammad ran really well to come through in 2nd place. Not easy necessarily in lane 2. So the Americans getting a 1-2. Almost days of old there.
Yeah. Well, this is the fastest time ever run. She was going to get the fastest time ever run on Jamaican soil. Just outside of that, held by Rochelle Clayton, who's in this race. But Sydney's a special 400-meter hurdle runner. She alternates for 7 hurdles, running 14 strides between, which is pretty unheard of. You got to be moving to be able to do that. Coming home, she'll let her stride shorten up a little bit, but she was clear of the field. I was pretty sure she was going to take it easy in this first race because early season, she knows she doesn't have to do much to win. And then she can try and put something down in that 400 tomorrow to secure the bag. But ultimately, at some point, I want to see her cross over with some of the faster women in the 4, you know?
You know, it's a measure of her ability. There's so many women in the world would dream of running 52.76, and she can make that look not workmanlike, or with everyday performance, just easy, just comfortable. She was looking at the clock. I don't think she thought maybe she'd gone a bit quicker.
It looked like a stroll.
The women's 400-meter hurdles continues to evolve as one of the most demanding and captivating events in athletics, a race where rhythm, endurance, and technical precision collide. 2 performances, separated by level but united by brilliance, perfectly illustrate how this discipline is being redefined. A historic European U20 final and a dominant statement from the world's undisputed queen, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone. At the European U20 Championship, the final carried a sense of anticipation rarely seen at junior level. The championship record of 55.89, untouched since 2005, loomed large over the field, a benchmark that had resisted generations of talent. Yet this race felt different from the moment the athletes stepped onto the track. The field was deep, balanced, and fearless, led by Tumba, the reigning world U20 champion and season leader. From the gun, the intensity was immediate. Alexandra Ut, attacking aggressively from the outer lanes, set a fearless early pace. Her execution over the first hurdles was sharp, almost flawless, as she pushed hard through the opening bend. Behind her, Tumba remained composed, gradually building her rhythm. a clear sign that she had timed her peak perfectly for the final. As the race unfolded down the back straight, the gap between contenders began to close. Tumba's stride pattern improved with every barrier, her efficiency becoming more evident. By the final curve, the race had transformed into a direct duel. The crowd sensed it. History was no longer a possibility, but an inevitability. The long-standing record was under serious threat, and the athletes were no longer just competing for gold, but for a place in the record books. This race represented more than just a victory or a time. It was a signal that the next generation of 400-meter hurdlers is arriving faster, stronger, and more technically refined than ever before. And yet, at the senior level, the standard has already been pushed into another dimension entirely, largely by one athlete. At the Grand Slam track event in Kingston, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone delivered a performance that reminded the world why she stands alone at the top of this event. Opening her 2025 season, she clocked 52.76 seconds, the fastest time ever recorded for the month of April. While the time itself was extraordinary, what made it even more remarkable was how effortless it appeared. Unlike the chaotic, high-pressure battle of the U20 final, McLaughlin-Levrone's race was defined by control. Every hurdle was approached with perfect timing, her stride pattern untouched by fatigue or disruption. Where young athletes fight to maintain rhythm, she glides through it. Where others tense under pressure, she remains composed. Her dominance over competitors like Genevieve Russell and Rashawn Clayton was not just physical, it was technical and psychological. She doesn't simply win races, she dictates them. Comparing these two races reveals the full spectrum of the 400-meter hurdles. At the junior level, it is raw, unpredictable, and fueled by ambition, a stage where records are chased and breakthroughs are born. At the elite level, it becomes an art form, mastered by athletes like McLaughlin-Levrone, who redefine what is possible with every stride. What connects both performances is progression. The fearless aggression of athletes like Tumba and Ute is exactly what feeds the future of the event. But the benchmark they are chasing has already been elevated to historic heights. The question is no longer whether the next generation will break records. It's whether they can reach the level that has already been set. Because in the women's 400-meter hurdles, the future is arriving fast, but the present is still untouchable.